What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky Reviews third-party Transformers, we're going to be taking a look at Planet X Pluto, and that's their version of Fall of Cybertron Megatron. There's a lot of Tron in that name. And I did pick this up a while back. I actually pre-ordered it back during like the New Year's sale at BBTS, and actually he's still on sale if you want to pick one up, along with the Ultra Magnus we looked at before. And he does come in his old school box, says Planet X Pluto. You do get the decoration here that looks a lot like his chest, only lacking a Decepticon logo there, as we discovered in the Repro Labels video yesterday. And turn this way, you do get a representation of his arm, yay, and then some blue outline. And you come to the back, and well, it looks like his back. Actually looks kind of like an angry dragon as well. It's kind of Megatron in a nutshell. And then you come this way, you get the other arm, and you come to the bottom, you get warnings and stuff, and you got standard grade, ages 15 plus. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And of course, if you open it up, you do get a whole bunch of foam stuff on the inside. Whoop-de-doo. Now, out of the box, we did get his instructions, which are not great as usual, but kind of helpful. But I definitely suggest watching videos on how to transform him, because it's here in the legs and stuff where you really get ate up. And they didn't try super hard with him. I mean, trying to get him from his crazy hover tank mode to his crazy bot mode, you gotta make some compromises somehow, somewhere. But this one has the worst case of visible head syndrome that I think I've ever seen. Now, of course, with that, you do get his character card here, which I'll just zoom in on. And it's a nice little animated shot there, not gonna lie, although it is reversed. His fusion cannon's always on his right arm, and yeah. And you got on the back, he does have strength. He's very strong. Intelligence, pretty good. Speed is okay. Endurance is okay. Rank, why isn't that topped out? Courage, sure. Fire Blast, he's got lots of power. And he has big skill. Cool. So, good character cards. All that crap will just go back in the box. Also included, not in his box, but in the box from BBTS, PX-15 Pluto replacement joints standard grade. Now, I assume that at some point, his hip joint is going to break. Now, it doesn't say if it's left or right. They're just assuming that one will break, I guess. So, I'm assuming there will be ones that'll do that. Keep away from small children. Thin film may cling to nose and mouth and prevent breathing. If your kid is dumb enough to put this bag over their face, you're probably going to die. Right. So, let's go ahead and get to him. And it's turntable time with this very pointy robot. Yeah, listen to that turntable grind. So, in his hover tank jet thing mode, he's pretty cool. He's exceptionally pointy in a lot of places, and you do see a lot of the translucent purple coming across, which is fine. You get a lot of the red paint, which sort of disappears in some ways when he's in bot mode, but really he is what I would call, in the Gundam aspects, kind of a faceplant flyer, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. There's some gunk right there, but just getting a good, decent look at him on the spinny table. Okay, so Spiky Boy here. Well, he doesn't do a whole lot. So, I mean, you've got the translucent bits here with some nice detailing underneath. I do like that. It's pretty good. He does have a sword sticking out his front for ramming people. But if you don't want that, it does remove pretty easily, and he can just be a normal pinchy hover tank. And, well, frankly, he looks kind of like a crab. Alright. He looks like a crab that's up to no good, doesn't he? What's going on over there? Nothing. I ain't doing nothing. Anyways, so you got some purple paint here, you got red paint here, more translucent stuff all over this. Very pointy bits that don't stick on very good, along with some not so great silver paint. Like I said before, they really aren't trying with this guy. They were just trying to get a figure out. You got red paint and purple paint here on his big old fusion cannon stuck on top of his head. Well, technically his back. And then if you come to the bottom, you definitely see his head. They make no attempt to hide Meg's head. Now, for my money, I would have liked at least a flip down part here, maybe, you know? Oh, but here's something interesting. You can see, inside here, you can see the texture and stuff. And it's painted in silver so that it shows through nicely in there. But what's also cool, there's actually a little bitty guy right there that would indicate that maybe, if one was so inclined, you could put an LED there and maybe try to light up the whole chest. That would be pretty neat. They don't do that, but it'd be cool if you could. And then there's some more detail. Here, red paint, all there, purple paint. He does have a good amount of paint, although it is scratchable pretty easily and already sort of coming off. And then he has some silver or gunmetal-y paint here as well. And yeah, like I said, hover tank. It's pretty cool. Now, for comparison, we can throw out here his not-so-great best friend and sidekick, Starscream. So you can see they're roughly the same length or so, but Meg's is definitely a lot bigger. And next to his ultimate rival, the Primer, who I said I wasn't going to transform again, and then I forgot I still had to do this review. So this is one of those times where I didn't do my concurrent transformations like I should have. I wasn't ready to review Megatron just yet. So here we go. Push that out of the way. Now, there is a thing about this Megatron that I have suspected since the beginning, and only just now before I started rolling the camera, I confirmed. Now, if you go all the way back to my Big Daddy Trypticon review, you know that he comes with these guys, or at least the version I did comes with these guys. Little push button LEDs that you can insert into all his little joints and stuff like that and light him up. Now, I always wondered if the fusion cannon could take it. And as you can see in there, you do have a big purple reflective part. I'm going to raise the camera up just a little bit so I can make use of this. So you can see in there, he does have a nice textured reflective bit, but what he also has is tabs. So we take this, you push the button side in, and oh, look at that, the gap is exactly perfect. And you just give it a little twist, and boom, you have a Megatron's fusion cannon lit up with a Planet X purple beam. I have not seen another reviewer do that. This figure's been out for like 2 years almost. I've never once, not IMGO, not anybody else that I know of, do that or even try it. So there's confirmation for myself and maybe even you in the past there who's looking for this. That totally works. Now, this is the extended way that the gun works. If you were to shrink it down into its compact mode, works a little bit less. Because it does just flat out do the thing. So, total confirmation. If they didn't want it to do that, they wouldn't have engineered these little tabs. Now, the tabs also do clear this little bit here. So, I mean, you can't use it in a compact form. So, that part sucks, and you can't just pull that out to make use of it. That would have been pretty cool if you could. But I'm just incredibly happy that that is, in fact, an option. So let's get to the part that I'm not looking forward to. Transformation. Right after this quick break. Okay, so, and for those who don't always check, for a lot of these figures, Transformers, I do another series called Taro, which is Transform and Roll Out, and that's where I take it from bot mode to vehicle mode. And I did one for this guy so you could see how much of a pain in the butt it is to get him into vehicle mode. And he's not going to stay in vehicle mode probably ever after this, unless they do more Decepticons, which, I mean, other than the current Insecticons, there aren't any. So, all right, what we want to do, we want to go ahead and pull out the fusion cannon. It does tab in here and up here, and once you get that loose, boom, there goes half your structural integrity. The other thing you want to do is come up here, push this up just a little to where it untabs from those guys. There's a couple posts right there. No biggie. Then you also want to come back here, pull this out, and just sort of get the wing up and out the way. Do the same thing on that side. Just be warned, you got to kind of hook it up under there. No biggie. So now he really just turned into a really strange thing. Once again, devious crab. That's actually making it worse. Okay, so we want to go ahead and extend these up and out the way. And go ahead and turn these little spiky bits out for all it matters. And you can, in fact, go ahead and close that down, because most of this transformation takes place down here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do one side and skip the other. You guys will just know that it happened. Go ahead and untab from here. Unfold all of this and just kind of get that exploded bit out of the way. Get this out of the way. Extend the leg. Which way am I facing? Okay, this way. So this is right leg. Mind the pointiness, guys. That crotch, super pointy. You can go ahead and rotate this vertical at this point if you want to. With the foot, you want to turn the heel there and just kind of push that down flat. And then turn the entire foot around. Continue to straighten out the leg as best you can. And then go ahead and tuck this in. Now this all has to clear over this spot here, so just, yeah, you really just have to push it and scare yourself to death like that. Okay, and now come to the back of the legs, which these are the most fiddliest parts. Go ahead and pull this thing down. This is seriously an unimportant part. It, as far as I can tell, all it really serves is kind of holding the foot in place when standing. Other than that, it doesn't seem to have a point other than to be in the way. Then you go ahead and you close your leg up on the back side, and then just sort of tuck this up as far as you go, and that's about as good as your foot can get there. Okay, once you have the legs done, raise your camera up. That's actually as high as I can go right now. He's got his hands in the air. I'm pretty sure he cares. Rotate at the shoulders. Use these shoulders to your abilities there. And you want to just compact these guys in on this big hinge here. You know, seriously nothing difficult about that. Go ahead and extend the arms out. Go ahead and open up both sides there. Flip the fist around. Tap that back together. Now, I did have a problem with this when it was new. Those didn't want to open, and then the fist didn't want to rotate. It loosened up real quick. So, that's not to say that it is loose, just that it loosened up fairly easy. Now for the backpack, which, honestly, if you're crazy, you could totally leave like this. You know, it's not how it goes, though. So you want to pick this up. Go ahead and tuck away the crab eyes. Good luck ever seeing that as anything else. And flip this guy up. Take the nose cone. Tuck it right up in there. As tight as it will go. Down into there. Then you flip this guy inside to the chest. Like that. And then close everybody up. You got a couple big tabs here that line up with that. Like so. And then he becomes a spiky-shelled turtle. And then you want to not do this. Okay, so the way these arms work, this only gets you to a 90 degree. You need to get it further than that. So you need to rotate it completely, 180, like that. And then close the shell back up. Okay, so you can see it has a kind of a dog leg there. Now the hinge goes a lot further. And then you want to use that hinge and this rotating point. You got a slot there. That I believe that's where the back of the gun went. Could be wrong. Oh, by the way, you could always have plugged the gun into that port if you wanted to rotate. But you can just fight this tab into place. Like that. Then once again on this side, flip them around. Flip that around. Oop. Compact that joint the right direction. Wait, did I just? Yes, I did. Had it right. Fought and then undid it. Good job, me. Okay, and then tab this guy into here, and I believe we are done. So, And there we have Lord Megatron in his robot mode. And frankly, I gotta move the camera here. He looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a good representation of this version of Megatron. The only problem I have is that he's loose as all get out in almost every joint, and frankly, doesn't like to stand very well. So, you know, as an action figure, he kind of sucks. Just trying to get, just right off the bat, like just not having fun with these legs. So you're gonna have to really finagle the feet and stuff where you want them. Like I said, these bits here kind of only exist to hold the feet in place to some degree, or be completely in the way. There's only those options. You don't have any others. But there we go. Now he's mostly standing up straight, but not at the same time. And good luck always getting those teeth into the exact right position, because there are some good big ratchets that sort of don't want to cooperate half the time. So if we kick him forward on that ratchet like that, and then kick it back on that ratchet, I think he's sort of standing straight and mostly tall. So there we go. I mean, he's in pop mode. That's good. So we can see all that purple coming together here on the chest, which looks fantastic, except for there's no spot that you could possibly put a Decepticon logo anymore, because you would have to go around a bend, and it doesn't do that. With this head, if I zoom in, it does have some nice red eyes, silver painted face, looking good for Chrome Dome. Very pointy helmet here. And no neck articulation, just mounted to a ball joint. And I think that's where they lost me. Like, it would have been good to be able to actually put his head away. So they could have articulated a little joint there that allowed his head to move. I mean, he does look menacing, but that's, well, about it. The shoulders move up and down on ratchets, as we saw during transformation. So you can bring it all the way up to 90. You can extend all of that out like that, and you can go out that way, though it looks completely ridiculous. You can also just do it like that if you really want to. And he does go all the way around on these fairly soft ratchets that are completely exposed, which is annoying to some degree. He does have bicep rotation, which is fine. And then he has very, very light ratchets in the elbows, which, as we'll see here in a little bit, don't do you much good, especially when you're trying to hold heavy objects like, you know, his gun. The hands do open just with the typewriter fingers and a single pin knuckle there, and he does just hold the weapons like you do. We'll see that here in a little bit. No ab crunch, but he does have waist rotation if you put down this crotch flap, which, sure. So crotch flap out of the way, he can get some turn before his enormous thighs start getting in the way. As we've already seen with the legs, they also have soft ratchets. They're just not happy, which is probably one reason why they give you spares. Once again, why didn't they give you two? They only give you the one. I assume that somewhere out of a factory they were coming broken already, but you can get the leg almost out to 90 degrees. It'll hold mostly. You do get thigh rotation, which is pretty good, and I guess that's where this kind of helps, because it won't bind up anywhere. Knee is technically a double jointed deal, but only one knee is doing, or only one section of knee is doing the work here. This top section only really wants to work during transformation. And then if you put it up straight, then your foot is sort of doing that number, and yeah, it ain't doing anybody any favors. Now, I've tried like tucking this up and out of the way, and well, that's about as good as that can get out of your way. So, I mean, that might give you some extra foot posing. You do have toe tilt, mostly part of transformation. You have all this ankle movement here, which is all way too loose for anybody's good, and you got ball joint stuff there. I guess maybe if you wanted to try to rotate it that way. I mean, looks funny and probably doesn't work, let's just be honest here. And these outward ratchets are the awkward ones. Like, There needs to be somewhere in between there. Okay, I think that's about as straight as he's gonna get, right about there. Now for accessories. You have the same accessories that we've already seen. You get his big old, what we want to call a Dark Star Saber, basically. Looks pretty good. Just big translucent hunk of thing with some purple paint there to offset it, clearly capped off in there. I'm just happy he doesn't fall apart, to be totally honest. And you do get weird offset pointy blade part there, but because he has energon weapons like everybody else does, why not? Now, because these edges and stuff are extremely pointy, please do not give this to a child. No, I said don't. Don't. You people are not listening to me. Well, I was going to compare that to the sword that Prime comes with, but I seem to be at a loss for swords. Anyways, so here we go with Fusion Cannon, and you can, of course, mount this to the arm via a huge translucent peg because they truly wanted that to break on you down the line. And it does just plug into his forearm like it do. Oh yeah, I forgot to change how that foot can sit. I wonder if that's any better. It's either better or worse. There's no in between. There's no okay. There's just better or worse. And I did leave it in compact mode because I think that's really how you're supposed to do it in bot mode. I do wonder if that can come out, but I'm not keen on prying out, you know, things like that. So big hole there and a very scary translucent peg that is also a kind of loose hinge, if I'm honest. I wish they'd had a much better way to do this, or at least with a type of plastic that wasn't known to deteriorate over time. Sorry about any background noise. They're working upstairs. But there we go. There we have Megatron all nice and complete. Okay, so for comparison, we got big old Megsy boy here. Bring in Primer, of course. Roughly the same size. Of course, his shoulders are definitely taller. I'm going to move the camera ever so slightly here. It has been crooked since I started this, and I just let it roll. And the Magnus boy that I looked at last time with the gun that doesn't stay in his hand properly. So Magnus is definitely a much bigger bot. And no, I did fix the neck, by the way, since his review. And then one of the ones I got last year with Perceptor, who also popped up in the previous video, and he looks good. Mind you, Megatron, much bigger. I think he was the second or third figure they ever did, so I mean, super different engineering. He just fell over. And then next to Grimmy, who is, you know, taller by a long shot, definitely bigger. Of course, this is the Flame Blast one that I picked up last year as well. I'm starting to realize I think I got almost every Planet X figure from BBTS. And let's go ahead and put him with the Seeker Boys, since they're my only other real Decepticons that'll fit on screen, because of course I have Trypticon, which, even though they have a pretty good scene together in that game, so to speak, I don't know if Trypticon would be happy to see him after what they did to him. That's right. And of course, if you're paying attention, if you played the game, Megatron actually wields one of these spiky maces at the end of the game when he's fighting Prime on the surface of the Ark. Or maybe that's just from the promo video when he basically like kills Bumblebee, or at least looks like he's supposed to kill Bumblebee. Why haven't they given us a Bumblebee yet? That's what I want to know, Planet X. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out real quick here before the final thoughts. These little guys only just plug in, and they are all translucent with some not great silver on them. If you were one of the people who accidentally got to see my out-the-box review, those were a huge pain, and they kept popping off, and they still do. So yeah, that's one of the dumbest things they did. Now, I like the idea that you can leave them out if you want, but they're also super stupid. But I didn't show it off, but you can get him in a nice shooting pose there. You can just turn the arm out, just basically like that. I already took a thumbnail picture, but I might redo it because that looks pretty cool. And I might actually put the LED in the barrel. Now, once again, if you want, I like it in the compact mode for bot mode, but if you want to put it in the extended mode and throw in the LED, there's no reason you can't. It's the same exact thing. Wait, is that one even working? Yeah, okay. By the way, guys, I haven't even touched these LEDs since I did the Trypticon review. So I'm impressed that they still have power. There it goes. Okay, so you can still do that number. Oh, that's perfect. So guys, if you catch him on sale like he is right now at BBTS, I suggest getting him if you need to fill out your Planet X shelf. He was one of the newer actual molds that they did out of their new factory. So that makes me wonder if that's why the quality control and stuff like that is a bit wonky. Just because, frankly, they just didn't know what they were doing just yet. The design is fine. It's actually pretty close to the actual game, except that his legs would also be the same grayish silver as the rest of him. Do I kind of wish they did him in a silver? Yeah, I think he would look better. But it is what it is. So now I just need the Insecticons as a set. They all come in a set, so that's not going to be too bad. And that'll round out the current Decepticons that they have that aren't seeker shaped. So hopefully we get a Soundwave and stuff like that, which would be awesome. Soundwave and Shockwave. We need Shockwave because he's the one who created the thing. And of course, Soundwave is the one who brought him back in this form. But guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a big ol' thumbs up. Hit the subscribe-ish button if you are new to the channel. Go check out the rest of my Planet X reviews. Hopefully, if I was smart, I put them in a playlist. I think I did, but I can't recall as of right now because, frankly, it's been a heck of an afternoon, and I got people outside making a lot of noise that I'm trying to talk over. But go check out the Ultra Magnus review if you missed that, and then all the other stuff. But I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.